Hello and thanks for joining me. Whenever you are out to achieve a goal or a target in life, you always want to give it your best shot. For example, if you need to appear for an examination or you are handed a difficult task or a project at work, what is the one thing that is going to help you to achieve the best results possible? Without a doubt, it is preparation. How well you are prepared to face the challenge or the task ahead. I often talk about providing you answers to job interview questions, but today I am going to share with you certain important points that relate to the whole preparation period once you start your preparation for a job interview. And if you are really in a situation where you need to prepare for an upcoming interview, then it is highly recommended that you note down the points that I am going to share with you in this video. You may have applied for many positions, but as soon as you get an interview call for a particular position, one of the first things recommended is to go through the job description of that position carefully. That is because familiarizing yourself with the required skills, qualifications, and competencies for that position will help you right from the start of your preparation for the answers up to the time that you are in front of the interviewer at the live interview. There are methods of identifying the skills required for a job from the JD in the form of keywords, and then making sure to include those keywords in your answers. If you have enough time to prepare yourself well in advance for the interview, then I highly recommend you to watch one of my videos where I explain in detail how to maximize the advantages of using keywords. The second most important thing that I would like to suggest is to go through the company website and gather key information and details about the company. This information will come in handy in answering the question, why should we hire you? When you get down to actually practicing the answers, there are two best methods that will help improve your confidence. Apart from the technical questions that you might expect to be asked depending on your profession, you must select as many commonly asked behavioral questions and prepare yourself to answer them confidently. The easiest and most commonly used preparation method is to write down the answers and read them out to yourself in a mirror. Once you repeat this exercise, you will see for yourself how much more confidence you gain by repeating the answers into the mirror. The second method to help you prepare and gain more confidence is going through mock interviews. You can either choose to go through mock interviews online or ask a friend to sit across you and ask you some questions and allow you to answer. It is up to you whether you decide to use both these methods or at least one of them. Remember that being prepared with the right words in your answer will reflect in front of the interviewer. Talking about how to dress for an interview, it is commonly known that you should be smartly dressed in formal colors like black, dark gray or blue, with a tie and preferably a jacket over it. For females, a trouser and a top in the same formal colors or a long skirt should be fine. But do make sure that your shoes look nice and clean. One important thing about the dress is to make sure that you select the dress at least 2 days in advance and not leave it till the last minute. I will skip the part about how important it is to reach the interview venue at least 10 to 15 minutes in advance of the schedule, because it is commonly known how negatively it could impact all your efforts. Some companies and HR have a rule of refusing a candidate in case he or she is late by more than 10 to 15 minutes without prior notification. So in case something really happens that might delay you for the interview, it will be best if you try to contact the company at the earliest and inform them about the possible delay. Enter the interview room when you are asked to, and make sure to slightly knock the door if you are not escorted. Greet the interviewer or the panel with a short introduction like, "Good evening, I am Nadeem and I am here for the interview." Right from that time until the interview is over, make sure to maintain eye contact with the interviewer or with the panel members, because no eye contact means lack of confidence or lack of interest, and we all know how important body language is. Let me remind you at this point that it takes only the first 6 to 8 seconds for a person to form a first impression about us. Some points to remember during the interview: make sure to let the interviewer finish his question before you start your answer or say anything. And remember, before you start answering the first question, you must thank the interviewer or the panel for giving you this opportunity. Start your answers by using positive and strong words and sentences. Stay focused on the main topic of the question and keep your answers brief and to the point. Here are some brief examples to help make your sentences sound better and stronger. You may choose to modify and use any of these examples based on your individual situation. I am a career-focused person who thinks in the long term when it comes to my professional commitments. I am a fast learner who needs minimal supervision and guidance when learning new tasks and functions. I make sure to have a good understanding of any task or project assigned to me before I start work on it. Some of the stronger skills that I possess are time management, adaptability, and flexibility. Here you may use or add any other skills that are more relevant to that job position, like communication, delegation, or interpersonal skills. Another example: I have excellent attention to detail and quality skills which enable me to complete my work and my tasks with minimal shortfalls and errors, and with a high quality output. Write to me in the comments of this video if you would like me to provide you more examples of sentences suitable to your profession. Moving on to the last 2 points to remember in your interview preparation. There are some interview questions that I consider as high scoring, and if you succeed in preparing well for those questions, you have a very high chance of success by impressing the interviewer. These high scoring questions include: tell us about yourself, tell us about your strengths, what is your biggest weakness, and one question that is usually asked at the very end of the interview: do you have any questions for us? I have separate videos on my channel to answer all of these commonly asked questions. And when you need to ask questions at the end of the interview, make sure to ask at least 2 to 3 questions. Focus your questions that show your interest in the job and the company. So these were the points that you need to keep in mind and be prepared, whether you're looking for a new job or thinking of changing your job. Please give a thumbs up to my video if you found it informative and useful, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Until my next video, stay safe and healthy wherever you may be. Thank you.